What's the deal? What's going on? What's the deal? Test, 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 test. Test, 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 test. What's the deal? What's the deal? There we go, there we go. I don't like that shadow in my face though. We're gonna work on that. What's the deal? I'm sorry I'm late. I was trying to get this mic setting right. How am I sounding? Palm trees in the chat if you can hear me well. Palm trees in the chat. 7, what's the deal? Stoners Committee, always first. What's the deal? I'm great. Can you guys hear me? Palm trees in the chat if you can hear me fine. Let me know if I need to turn it down. Up. Dub sound, I love it. I love to hear it. I love to hear it. I'm great. I'm great. Can't complain. Having a good day. The music stream went amazing yesterday. I made like over $500 yesterday just sitting here creating music. So shout out to y'all. Yeah. Thank everybody who tapped in with the music stream last night. How many songs did we do? I remember it was like 15 songs on Nero, and then like another 10 songs from my Instagram promo. Like everybody who paid to get posted on the Instagram automatically gets a grade. That's a new little package deal I'm doing. But for sure, what's the deal, everybody? How y'all doing? Welcome to Saturday School. This is episode 4 of Saturday School, my newest stream. What's the deal? I gotta get a sign or something. The real big Uno. I don't know about no Pun yet. Pun ain't been on his destruction shit lately. So there we go. Yeah, boy. 90%. Y'all just saw me open it, right? Oh shit! Now the thing's done. Y'all just saw me open the motherfucker. Already at 90%. 90%. How does that work? Yeah, Uno is Lush thing. I'm Dark Rainbow. I'm the biggest critic in West Coast hip hop. I'm Mr. Rap Report Card. Those are my aliases. And yeah, we got a mic situation. You know, we've been had this. I've been had this mic. I've been had this stand, but I didn't have the extra piece to get rid of the echo. So hopefully y'all like this gate I put up, and hopefully y'all not hearing too much echo because they told me to order this little converter thing off Amazon and put a gate up. We need Tam. Adam hates her. We're going to talk about all of that. I told y'all last night, so everybody was coming into the music stream last night to get me to talk about the whole Adam and Tam thing. First, I hadn't talked to Tam about it, so I need to speak to Tam about it before I speak on, because it's her job. I don't work at No Jumper, so it's her career. So I need to talk to Tam about it first. And then 2, the music review stream on Friday is not about drama. The music review stream is about music. Fridays is about music. Saturday School, we could get into the drama and we could talk about me and my opinion on stuff with no interference. There's no guest on Saturday School unless I bring like maybe some of my homegirls or like personal, like non-industry people. I might start doing that and y'all can get to know us. But other than that, no guests on Saturday School. But yeah, shout out to everybody who was in here last night on the music review stream. Shout out to Big Sat 1900 for calling in last night. I got to get a soundboard next. Shout out to Big Sat 1900 for calling in last night. We talked about his new project, Until Then 2. I played a few joints, gave my feedback. I interviewed him over the phone. I clipped that up, posted some of it on Instagram today. He sent the $100 super chat for Tam. And then Bo is in the chat talking about he want to start splitting the super chats. So as you guys know, the super chats have always, since Tam joined the show, the super chats have always gone to Tam. But Bo's like, no, we should split it. And I'm going to talk about that more with Bo on Monday. I agree, like they could split them. I don't care. I'm not getting any of it. But I just felt like since we don't get that many super chats, like why are you tripping over, like it'd be like $80 a month, $87 a month. I think last month was like $87. Like, you want $43? Like, I don't know. Dejon beats people up in real life. I seen a video where he got, yeah. We remember that. No more stealing Lush name. Absolutely. No, I got to crash out on the way. I'm going to let the chat warm up. I got to crash out on the way. Yeah, I'm in a decent mood. Y'all know the reason I started this show, the reason I started Saturday school, start doing these streams is because every Saturday, for whatever reason, for maybe the past 10 years or 9 years, I every Saturday I wake up, I get hit with a wave of depression, and this is me being vulnerable and open with you guys. I'm fine Monday through Friday. I love Monday through Friday. Come Saturday, it feels like just a box thrown at me of depression. Like I just get sad, and I think it's because people don't really work. Like Saturday, people not answering emails, people not pitching ideas, people not really working on Saturday. The industry kind of everybody just does their thing. On Saturday, it's like a personal day, a fun day, XYZ. Excuse me, I don't know why my nose is so stopped up today. And I feel like I like to work. Nah, I feel like I know I like to work. Like my favorite day of the week is Monday. So on Saturdays I get depressed because everybody's not working, and I'll be feeling like I'm the odd one out, like I'm the only one who is working. And so I'm like, fuck it. I'm gonna start streaming every Saturday. I'm gonna come up with something where I can just do what I love, which is this. I love to work. I love to talk about hip hop and all these different things, all these different topics. So I'm gonna be up here every Saturday, solo dolo, popping it with you guys, fucking with the chat. Shout out to Stoners Committee. I really appreciate it. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. While we let the chat warm up, could you guys help me out? What are let's do two different warm up topics. One, what are some things you want to see us change about the set that are budget friendly? I'm not a millionaire yet. What are some budget friendly things you can see us getting for the set? And then two, who are some artists or podcasters that you want to see pull up on Bo and I or Tam and I? Let's start there. Before I crash out on Adam22 for fucking with Tam, what are some things you want to see change on the set? And two, who are some guests you want to see on the show? And hit that like button. I definitely want to have Big Sad pull up. He said he's going to pull up. He's going to pull up soon. Change color of walls is an easy start. What color? I'm thinking black. I found somebody who said that they would paint this room for not too much money, for less than $1,000. I'm thinking, but only a solid color. I'm thinking black. Black light posters. What's a light posters? What's a light poster? Blue bugs. I can make that happen. I can make blue because blue bugs don't fuck with no jumper. Blue bugs don't fuck with back on fig. So I could definitely get blue bugs up here. But I always wanted blue bugs to come when they drop a project. Seven just said something crazy. I will never, ever, 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 ever have that person on my show. I don't want any homophobic people on my show. If you have a problem with gay people, why would you be on Dejon Paul's? Why would you be at Dejon Paul's office if you have a problem with gay people? Not gonna happen. Kaylin, I can make that happen. I interviewed Kaylin last year on Instagram Live. It was before we did a Day and Late podcast. He hit me like, hey, hop on live with me. And then we hopped on live and I interviewed him and we was talking about different stuff. Glows under black light. Mac Wop gonna be on here by summer. The only reason I don't hate Mac Wop, I try not to hate people in general, but the only reason I don't hate Mac Wop is because I remember I didn't know what a gate was until Mac Wop took time out of his day to explain that to me via podcasting. Like on the Apollo, I remember one day he was like, "Oh, Dejon, your sound is terrible." This is the episode we had Munchie B on. And he was like, this, and he took a few minutes of his time and explain no, you need to put a gate up and this, that, and the third. And he was like, you must have a wire over a wire because I hear buzzing. He gave a few notes, so I remember stuff like that. When people do stuff like that for me, I remember shit like that. So that's the only reason I don't hate Mac Wop. I feel like Keem wouldn't let Mac Wop and me do content together. He would throw a sissy fit. So, you know. Um, Chike, when Chike dropped, I've been promised a Chike interview. Um, who else? Who else y'all want to see on the show, and what other um items or things y'all want to see on the set? I want to get another one of these glowing palm trees. I want another one on this side. I am gonna stop being lazy and hang up the king palm signs. I am trying to figure out where exactly I'm gonna put the king palm signs because they sent them to me. I don't want to just leave them on the couch. I'm also gonna get, like, I got the 2025 LA freshman cover. I'm gonna get all the other freshman covers going back to 2020 blown up and have them placed around here so you guys can see how I platform artists. Pot Lord. Pot Lord's been on a Day Late podcast before. He wasn't. It's crazy about the Pot Lord situation because he wasn't really feeling, even though that's like the most viewed episode. The episode with Pot Lord and Brandon is the most viewed episode of this podcast to date. But Pot Lord wasn't necessarily feeling like the drama and the stuff we was talking about on this show. He thought he was just gonna come and only talk about LA rap. And he made, like, he said something on his show. I remember seeing a clip I just posted where he was like, hey, even though I went to a damn lane, I'm not with none of the drama. I didn't want to be a part of none of that. But then you see Pot Lord like crashing out on Riley, crashing out on Yuri. Like, Pot Lord does drama too. So hopefully he understood where I was coming from, because it's like, yeah, I can sit up here and talk about LA rap as well, but obviously I can do that. I'm the best person at that. But that's not all the audience or the chat or the people care about. Yeah, exactly. Pot Lord is on his drama tip right now, so he has to understand we're human still. We're still, like, us podcasters. We don't just talk about one thing. I don't just talk about LA rap. If somebody says fuck Dejon or calls me a gay slur or something, yeah, I'm gonna sit on my podcast and talk shit. I'm not gonna just come in here and talk about the new Mark Lux project for 2 hours. I can get to that, but I want to address who was talking shit about me. Bring Lush. Lush is welcome anytime. Actually, I do need Lush for a specific conversation I want to have very soon. So I'll reach out to Lush. I'll try to get Lush on here before the month is over. Bringing Lush on during Black History Month is very interesting. I have an email. That's what else I'm gonna read for the warm. I have an email from a fan. Before we get started, I want to read his email, and then I'm gonna get to some good topics. But I have an email from a fan. I'm not going to read the entirety of it, but I will read it. Shout out to this fan. I'm going to just call him Mr. Carter. And the title of this email is, please give Keem and Stat less aggressive and shorter responses going forward. That's the title of it. He sent it February 5th. Mr. Carter said, Keem and Stat use your name for attention. And I'm reading the email. Keem and Stat use your name for attention because it generates views for their channels. You have more momentum in the YouTube space than them. Keem is visibly whiter than you. You can look at his phenotype and see the whiteness. He's also insecure about this. This is why he mainly associates with dark-skinned black people. Stat is the same type of person, except he's biracial by way of his white dad. You're too black to give those light skins with visible whiteness in their blood the type of responses you've been giving them. Please just give them calm responses that are brief going forward. If you give them a response at all, for example, when Keem recently accused you of scamming artists or sending you music reviews, you could have just explained how you're not scamming artists. You didn't have to address Keem directly or pull the video of him talking about you on the screen. You could have just said, quote, I'm reading his email, a crack baby with a dead crackhead dad, a crack whore mom, and crack grandbaby said I was scamming with my music reviews. I wasn't. I think you should stop pulling videos of Keem and Stat up on screen. You're in your career prime and you're only becoming more high status. And I'll leave it there. He sent a few more. He also said at the end, you punk Stat in front of the world, destroyed his LA reputation, and ran him to Houston. You violated Keem in front of the world. Both of them have yet to do anything to you that's on the level of what you did to them. They're cowards. Shout out to Mr. Carter. He sends me emails after pretty much every episode, but this was, I appreciated this, and I agree. I agree with a lot of what he said. Not everything he said, because I really don't care about the whole light skin, dark skin thing. But I agree with the bulk of what he said, including when he said I don't have to put them on my screen. I can address certain people without like reacting, like putting what they're saying about me on the screen. So moving forward, I won't pull up Stead, or I won't pull up Keem, or I won't pull up, if somebody's talking shit about me, I don't have to pull them up on the screen. I can just talk about it briefly. So I appreciate it. I appreciated that email. Shout out to Mr. Carter. I get where you coming from. Speaking of Stat, I think it's hilarious how he's threatening. He said when he sees me, him and Keem are going to jump me or beat me up. I've been disrespecting Stat and Keem for well over a year. It's going on a year and a half. I've been disrespecting them. No one's done anything. So I call cap on that. Those are called wolf tickets. That's called wolfing on the net. We've never seen either of you fight anyone. So there's that. The topic I really want to get into before I crash out on Adam, the topic I really want to get into is, I think it's like part of me is disappointed in Pun for not bringing the destruction. Ace Boy Pun, this is I'm talking to Pun now. Where you at? Get up, get up, get up, get up, get up. That man, or that bitch rather, Stat, was talking about your mother. He accused you of boning me. Pun, you don't have nothing to say, no destruction. I mean, come on. Dark Rainbow is looking to OG destruction for destruction guidance. Where is Pun? You doing all these reactions, and I tap in with his reactions, ABP reactions. I tap in with him when he's watching like Cops and different law shows, Law and Order and shit, and responding and like reacting to it. I peep that. But it's like, come on, man. Don't you have something to say, Pun? Stat accused you of fucking me. That's disgusting. Don't you have anything to say? Anything? Like, damn, I've been waiting all week for a Pun response. They didn't even do an episode of Community on Thursday. On Monday, I watched the episode thinking that, oh, Pun's going to crash out. It's going to be epic. Nothing. It's like, dang, bro, where's the destruction? Bring back the destruction. I don't like Big Uno. I like the destruction. I don't like mature, I'm too good to talk about this Pun. I just don't. I don't like mature, I'm too good to talk about this Pun. I like destruction, talk shit. I'm going to beat you up when I see you. Him pressing Desto Dub outside of the Hollywood, what's the name of that venue? Whatever the venue is, where the Sexy Red concert was. Damn, it's the one with it's like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people. Anywho, that's the Pun I'm into. This whole mature Gandhi Buddhist Kumbaya Pun, I don't like. I like destruction Pun, and I want to see him crash out on Stat. And Pun, if you're not going to crash out on Stat, who has violated you at this point, because again, he accused you, a reputable Crip, of fucking me, which is a violation, you supposed to say something about that. And if you're not going to say nothing about it, at least bring back Let Me Cook. Let me cook. Bring back Let Me Cook, Pun. Load up the Discord and bring back Let Me Cook. If you're not going to get messy, unleash Dark Rainbow. Dark Rainbow. Dark Rainbow. Unleash the Dark Rainbow. Unleash Dark Rainbow, Pun. Bring back Let Me Cook. There hasn't been a Let Me Cook in damn near a year. Bring back Let Me Cook. Dub Let Me Cook in the chat. Palm trees in the chat. Dark Rainbow in the chat, or I'm gone. We need a Let Me Cook. If you're not going to address that for lying on us, he didn't just lie on me, he lied on you too. He said we had sexual intercourse. Do you think, imagine how disgusting that is. That's just disgusting. That's the nastiest thought ever had on Earth, in the history of Earth, in the 8 billion, 9 billion, 10 trillion years of Earth. That's the nastiest thought anyone has ever had, me and you having sex. And you're not going to say anything. I have to say something. Bring back let me cook. Bring back let me cook and let me cook. Like let me cook this nigga. He's a dweeb. He's a mark. He's a buster. Bring back let me cook. Pun don't want to be cooked. Look, Pun can mute up for all I give a fuck. I just need the platform. Bring back let me cook. Let me and Stet go toe to toe. Me and Keem go toe to toe. Me and whoever go toe to toe. We all need to get back on let me cook and roast each other. That's the way we solve these issues. That's how we solve the problems. Somebody said react to some music. That's on Fridays. Grade your music stream. You missed out. I graded over 20-something songs yesterday. And Big Sad 1900 called in and I interviewed him. Don't try to play me with the old talk about some hip-hop shit. I talked about hip-hop for almost 4 hours yesterday in the same chair, looking into the same camera. Pun, bring back let me cook. Why do you guys think Pun is ignoring Stat? I remember even Stat said, let's do let me cook, just one-on-one, you and I. Which I really would have been into because you need the audience members on Let Me Cook, but bring back Let Me Cook. I don't want to hear nothing but Let Me Cook. No more ducking. No more ducking. I don't use Discord. I don't know how to use Discord. If I knew how to use Discord, I would make my own version of Let Me Cook. Pun's the Discord guy. Let him set it up. Pun, Dejon versus Keem and Stat. Pun and Dark Rainbow versus Keem and Stat. Let me cook. Set it up. Pun and Dark Rainbow versus Keem and Stat. Let me cook. Let me cook. Bring it back, man. I'm going to shoot Pun a text. I'm about to text Pun. I'm about to text Pun right now. Don't worry about it. Texting Pun. Bring back let me cook with a dark rainbow emoji. Bring back let me cook. I just text Pun, bring back let me cook. It's going up. Keem soft bat. She don't have to be there. It can just be me and Pun versus Stat. But I feel like the main event would be Keem versus me on Let Me Cook. Bring back let me cook. Pun, what are you doing? This nigga's talked about your family members disrespectfully. This nigga talked about your wife. This nigga accused you of sleeping with me. This nigga questioned your street card. He said that you never did shit in the music business, which is a lie. We know about your work with Problem, G Perico, Priority Records, League of Stars, Active Management, all of that. SOB, RBE, the list goes on and on. I knew who Pun was before there ever was a No Jumper. So he talked shit about Pun's teeth. He talked hella shit about Pun. He said he was going to shoot Pun. And we can't get a let me cook to let some jokes fly off? We can't get a let me cook? This is crazy. I'm not having it. Pun, this month, February 2026, we need a let me cook. And if we're not going to do let me cook, I'm going to learn how to work Discord and I'm going to do my own version of let me cook. It's going to be called Cook Me Let or something. I don't know. I don't fucking know. But we're doing a let me cook. We need to roast that. He can't get away with this. He can't get away with spreading a false narrative about us sleeping together. That's disgusting. I can't allow it. I won't be able to sleep knowing that people out there believe that I slept with Pun. We have to silence and dead this narrative. And since you won't do it on Community, Pun, let me cook. Dark. 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 Dark Rainbow! It's time, man. It's long overdue. And it's time. Say his name. Say Dark Rainbow. Dejon be using this stream as an excuse to drink. What the fuck are you talking about? Dub, let me cook. It's time. It's time for it. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully, Pun hits me back today and we schedule Let Me Cook. No more. We don't duck fades, Pun. That's what we don't do. We don't duck fades. Stet wants smoke. Let's bring him the smoke. Stet wants smoke. Let's bring him the smoke. He already got bitched out by a nigga with one arm and bitched out by a gay nigga on camera. On camera. Come on now. This is not, we don't duck fades. Not team destruction. No way. And I understand you president of the destruction board. Well, you need to start acting like it. You need to start acting like it. This is crazy. Point and shoot sheriff in the chat. You need to box Jala on brand risk 13. They cut the check, I'll box whoever. But I want to beat Jala's ass. And when I say Jala, I'm not talking about his brother who's a child molester. He deserves to get beat up too. I'm talking about Flacco. I'm talking about Funky Fred. That's who I want to beat up. I don't want to wear gloves when I fight or beat up Flacco because Flacco's not going to hit me back. If I saw Flacco, I could walk up to him and slap the shit out of him, start caving his face in. He's never going to punch me back. He's a bitch. He's a bitch. He's a bitch. He will never punch me back. Do you think Bo could beat Ricky in a boxing match? No, I don't. As a mod, man. As a mod. I think the most important thing to take away from the whole Ricky versus Bo situation is that neither one of them are tough guys. Not that I'm a tough guy, but neither one of them are tough guys. I don't think neither one of them are like the best fighters though. So I think that'd be like watching two people that can't fight, if that makes any sense. But yeah. All right, y'all. It's time to talk about what we're here to talk about. I'm going to play the video, and then we're going to react to it. I'm going to react to, well, before I play the video, the Thursday show on No Jumper has been canceled. Dun, dun, dun. And let me preface this situation, the scenario, by saying this. I'm a firm believer. I'm conflicted here because, one, I'm Team Tam. And y'all know that. But two, I'm a firm believer that when you own a platform, when you own something, you can do with it what you please. If I own a car and I want to paint it red, it's my car. If I own a house and I want to paint it purple, it's my house. I should be able to do with my platform what I want to. You guys know that. If I want to fire someone, cancel something, change the name of something, I'm a firm believer that you should be able to do that. On the other hand, I am a firm supporter and always been a firm supporter of the Thursday show. You guys have heard me have several conversations with Tam. Even when Suspect and Tay Third pulled up for the Christmas episode, the holiday episode, I was talking to them about how I'm rooting for the Thursday show. I want to see the Thursday show compete with the Tuesday show. So again, I'm conflicted here. It's like, yes, Adam and Josh have the right to change the name from Thursday Show to back to No Jumper News. And if they choose to break up that ensemble, as Lush keeps calling it, that's their discretion. That's their choice. I support people doing with their shit what they want to do. As an entrepreneur, as a business owner, I support people doing with their platform whatever the fuck they want to do with their platform. However, I believe that the Thursday show had a gratuitous amount of potential. I believe that the Thursday show, although it had its mishaps and shortcomings, the Thursday show, if produced right, would have been just as big, could be just as big as the Tuesday show, could draw in the same amount of views as the Tuesday show, have the same impact on the timeline and on YouTube on the West Coast as the Tuesday show. I blame production. And when I say production, I mean Flacco. Flacco makes the topics and puts together the show for the Thursday show. Fish rot from the head down. So if there's a problem with the Thursday show, that means the person that's sending the topics is to blame. The person, because the narrative is, even Tam said it when they were talking about it this past Thursday, there's not really a difference between the news and this. Even Josh was echoing that sentiment. They all were saying the same thing, just in different ways. The Thursday show feels like a news episode. I've said that sitting here to Tam, to her face. Sometimes when watching the Thursday show, I'd be like, what's the difference between this and a news episode? Where I disagree with Tam is I don't feel like the Tuesday show feels like a news episode. The Tuesday show feels like an original podcast for the most part on most episodes. It is not just because of Adam. He plays a factor, but it's not just because of him. I feel like on the Tuesday show, there's internal conflict at times. Like we've never seen anybody on two people on the Thursday show beef, not as of late. Not with that current cast, but we've seen Ehefe and Munchie B clash. We've seen them have drama, and then they have to talk about that on the show. Even just the whole risque of having Spody Face, who's from this hood, and Ehefe and Munchie B, that there's an underlying tension or even a potential tension. Like you're waiting, you're sitting on the edge of your seat waiting to see if shit goes left. We know on a Thursday show, shit's not going to go left, so there's not any examples of internal or possibility for internal conflict on the Thursday show, which is internal conflict is a key factor of being that no jumper. It's gladiator school. You're there to verbally spar with other people at times. Not every episode, not every week, but it has to be there. We've never, Lush, Tam Third, Suspect Tam, and Creep. You're never going to see them get into it with each other on camera. And so that takes away from the edge and the lore of the Thursday show. And I'm not saying, and this is my thing, say they come together like we don't want to beef with one another for views. Cool. Then y'all have to outsource the conflict. For example, remember when I kept pushing for TF Third to carry on his beef with Smack and T-Rell after he called out their fade and to keep pushing that line? He withdrew. So you don't want to beef with your co-host, but Tay, if Tay had went full throttle against Smack and T-Rell, that would have been a boost for the Thursday show. I'm not saying that's how that he feels 100% angry with them in his heart, but there is some anger, there was some disrespect had. It was not like he just made up this whole storyline against them. Smack and T-Rell had said some very disrespectful things about him, and he called out their fate. That should have been a whole storyline is what I'm saying. I feel like things like that's what separates it from the news. Those type of storylines is what separates it from the news. Tay versus Moose Man. That should have been a bigger moment. I feel like Tay F Third versus Moose Man should have been a much bigger moment. Much bigger moment. When we finally got them together on camera, it was too quick to the kumbaya. They had the kumbaya off camera. No, we need to see it. Y'all know I'm a firm believer of do everything on camera. Show us on camera. Like when you do stuff off camera, we can't see it. We can't interact with it. So I feel like Tay and Moose Man could have been a better storyline. Tam's my girl, but I would have loved to see some Tam Jalise drama going on. As a messy person, as a fan, as a supporter of the Thursday show, I would have liked to see Tam and Jalise get into it a little bit or have something. These are examples of storylines and narratives that would have saved the Thursday show. This is just me thinking producer mode, which is something Flacco's not doing. Flacco doesn't care. Flacco gets his check, send over some bullshit topics from his Instagram to them and have them recite it and talk about it. And that's why the Thursday show is canceled. Even like there's non-dramatic things too. That's how creative I am. I could come up with some non-dramatic ideas for a Thursday show that would have been dope. That would have kept it from being quote unquote canceled. Flacco never sent over like segments like hypotheticals, like every podcaster on the show goes around and say what they would do if they were elected governor of California. You get what I'm saying? Or things like that, like a hypothetical segment. Like each week it's a different prompt. Like imagine segments on the Thursday show where there's a prompt. Not just we reading from the screen a topic on Flacco's Instagram or the No Jumper Instagram that everybody already talked about in the podcast space this week. Like something creative, something totally creative, something avant-garde, something that is exclusive and original to the Thursday show. What are the topics that are exclusive and original to the Thursday show? So again, I'm blaming Flacco and I'm putting self-accountability on the cast members of the Thursday show because I don't feel like it was a failure before it being canceled. because I'm a firm believer that you can do with your platform what you will. I can't blame or shame Adam and Josh for making the Thursday show now become just another No Jumper News episode, because that's their decision. That's what they want to do with their platform. I can't. I mean, I can sit here and make content and try to, but I honestly can't. Principle wise, that's how I feel. I feel like, and I told Tam this, I'm like, you can do with your platform what you want to. It's on Flacco, the producer of the show, to make sure that they never want to cancel the show. Am I making sense? Is this adding up? Are y'all following along? It was on Flacco as a producer of the show to make sure that the Thursday show never got canceled, to make sure that Adam and Josh never even thought about canceling the show, because it's so successful, it's getting clipped so well, and everybody's talking about it. Podcasts from different podcasters reacting to it, all of that good stuff. But Flacco doesn't care. Flacco doesn't care so much about, this is how much Flacco doesn't care about the Thursday show. When he came to LA, he popped in on a Tuesday show for a bit, then went to back on Fig. He didn't even stay to go to the Thursday show after being gone for 4 months to not lose any weight. So in totality, I'm saying that Flacco is the reason why the Thursday show got canceled, because he's sitting over bullshit topics. He's making it a news show. Flacco is made the Thursday show, the former Thursday show, feel like a news show. He's the one sending the topics. There's a way to curate that show with certain segments and certain energies and certain conversations that would make it feel like a standalone original program, original broadcast. But instead, Flacco keeps sitting over No Jumper News adjacent topics. And then when he had the opportunity to turn it up, because he'd been gone for 4 months, when he had the opportunity to use his celebrity to leverage views and momentum to the show, he carried his fat ass over to back on Fig and was talking about me. Instead of talking about how he disrespected all the LA gang members, instead of going to the Thursday show. I remember watching the Thursday show that week, and they all was like, wait, where's Flacco? And Creep was like, they gone. I got another point. Don't worry about nothing. I feel like Creep serves better on No Jumper News. I'm trying to say it politely and respectful because I don't know that gentleman. Creep gives No Jumper News vibes. When Creep is there, it taints it waters it down, and it makes it feel like a news episode. Creep is perfect for a No Jumper News episode. And I feel like Adam and Josh and Flacco aren't brave enough to tell one of Wack's somebody that Wack brought on, to sit this out and be on a No Jumper News episode. That's how I feel. I like the dynamic of Suspect, Tam, Lush, Tay. Possibly a guest if they're noteworthy. But those four, that's the cast. When you add in Creep, I feel like it's too much. 5 is too much. It's 4. 5 is too much in my opinion for the Thursday show. It should be 4. That's just my thoughts. And I feel like Adam and Josh and Flacco are all too scary to tell Wack, like, let's have Creep, or to even tell Creep, like, let's have you on Monday news show or Wednesday news show or Friday news show. That's how I feel. I feel like they're too afraid of Wack to do it. They know if they told Creep that, Wack would have something to say about it. That's honestly how I feel. So I definitely want to let Lush, Tay, Almighty, and Tam know I'm still supportive of them. I like their ensemble. I can't stand that word, but Lush keeps using it. I like their tandem. I like their chemistry together. I enjoyed the Thursday show. Y'all can go back to former episodes of this podcast and see me saying it over and over and over and over again, even before Tam was on the show. I fuck with the Thursday show. I just wanted to see some more drama. And if it wasn't going to be internal conflict, I wanted it to be external conflict. I just wanted to see more conflict on the Thursday show, less No Jumper News topics, more like original content, things that is exclusive to the show. And I feel like Creep wasn't the right fit for the Thursday show. Creep gives No Jumper News vibes. We got some super chats from Brandon, Defiant Brandon. Shout out to him. And I like Brandon when he was on the Thursday show too. I really did. The topics were too redundant. The conversation never evolved. Lush and Josh never held. Oh, y'all making the chat move too fast. Lush and Josh were never held accountable for bad shows. Only black hosts get blamed for that. I feel like Lush tries his best, Brandon. Don't you feel like Lush tries his best? I can't knock Lush because I see the effort with Lush. Lush is there like 5 days a week. I can't knock Lush because I see him trying. I don't knock people when I really see them putting forth effort. I actually tip my hat and salute. Lush puts in more work than any other No Jumper host. Let's keep it a buck. Lush puts in more work than any other No Jumper host. Is Lush a good leader for the show? Maybe not, but he is a great A-mic. And a lot of times people conflate the two. A lot of times people think because you're the A-mic that you're the leader. Let's look at the Temptations. Otis Williams was the leader. David Ruffin was the A-mic. You get what I'm saying? Before him, Eddie Kendricks was the A-mic. Just because you're front and center and you're the best podcaster on the show does not necessarily mean that you have the qualities of a leader. So there's a difference between an A-mic and a leader. Would I look to Lush for leadership? Hell no. He's a degenerate. Shout out to Lush though. But is Lush going to bring the most entertainment, the most entertainment to the show? Absolutely. We also have another super chat from Brandon, Defiant Brandon. I want to fight Bo and Lush. Bo's not going to fight you. Lush will fight you for the right amount of money, but you would beat his ass. Otis Williams is my cousin. You're related to the only surviving Temptation member, Stoners Committee. That's what's up. But yeah, so in conclusion on the Thursday show, because at the end of the day, Adam and John's decision is their decision and it stands. It's no longer a show. Now it's the No Jumper News episode on Thursday. I feel like it was a miscarriage of a show. It didn't have to go down like that. It definitely could have thrived had Flacco not be the producer, or if Flacco stepped up and really did a better job at being a producer and sent better topics that are unique to the show. They removed Creed, and then the hosts themselves, Tay, Suspect, Lush, and Tam, were more prone to conflict, whether it's internal or external. I think that show, and dragged out those storylines and narratives and partook in the messiness. I think that show will be better. I also want to speak to, and I have to talk about Suspect a little later in the show over his LA rap takes, but I want to speak to Suspect's cavalier disregard for the No Jumper brand and operations. When I worked there with him, it used to irk me. It used to irk my soul how he would be sitting there eating a whole plate of food and he just didn't, to me it felt like he just didn't care, like he just wanted his check. Even the conversation that they was having on Thursday, Suspect kind of just came off like he only cared about what the check said. But I get it. With time, I've grown to understand that perspective. Why be overly loyal? Why go out your way and work beyond to super serve people that at the snap of a dime could cancel your show? They fired Suspect like 2-3 times already. You get what I'm saying? We've seen Adam disrespect Suspect when they was having a Kendrick Drake conversation at the No Jumper store. So I understand Suspect's disposition towards No Jumper at this point. He's just showing up, saying what he got to say, get his check, eat his food, go home. When I worked there before, it was like, damn, like, why can't he, like, he should step up. He's been here long enough, woo, 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 woo. But it's like, why step up for a platform that at the drop of a dime, you can no longer be working there or they could be shitting on you. Even when they fired him, I remember they took down his stream after because he was reacting to him on the show. Like, they wouldn't even let him react to himself on No Jumper camera. So I understand Suspect's disposition. When they broke the news on camera this past Thursday that the show was no longer Thursday show, he didn't seem too bothered by it. He was just like, I want to make more money. Does this affect my pay? Does this affect our pay? Outside of that, he even said he only cares about what the invoice say. So yeah, I understand Suspect. Now, let's get to what y'all are really, really here for. I do not like the way Adam is handling Tam. And let me say that again. I do not like the way that Adam22 is handling Tam. I do not care for that. I feel like Tam is too much of a lady, too respectful to be treated in such a dismissive manner. He's belittling her. That's Big Tam. Like, that's Tam Burger. She's the first lady of No Jumper right now. She's the only reoccurring female host on the platform. Like, what are you talking about? She's the eye candy. They not there to look at Lush. And she got a good brain on her paws. So let me pull up what Adam had to say about Tam. And he throwing shots at me, like wondering why Tam would podcast with me. Like, I'm confused. Like, why wouldn't she? I'm a fucking vibe, nigga. Like, what are you talking about? But don't worry about nothing. Let me pull this up. This has to move. All right, I have the video. So Adam did a stream right after canceling the Thursday show. He did a lackluster stream that didn't do too well for his channel's normal viewership. And he was throwing shots at Tam, threw a shot or two at me, no pun intended. And we're going to react to it. Hold on. All right, here we go.
Like Tam.
All right, this is Adam on his bullshit solo stream that people aren't really reacting to too well. Let's check it out. I'll be over here so that you guys can see the 22 stir, aka Jason Love's punching bag. Let's check it out.
Tam, right now on the Thursday show, I think that's like a good runway for her to develop her skill set and sort of show us
Excuse me.
what she's capable of. I don't think she necessarily needs to be on the show like multiple times per week right now. I feel like Tam is still...
I'm going to pause it right there. We're going to come right back to it. I'm going to finish letting it play. Again, I'm a firm believer that when you own something, when it's yours, you could do with it what you want. So if he doesn't want Tam to be on No Jumper multiple times throughout the week, that is his decision. Do I agree with the decision? Not that it means anything. This is just me talking. No, I think Tam is a great asset to No Jumper. That's why I disagree. I think Tam brings knowledge, professionalism, journalism, color. She's presentable, flavor, sass, attitude. Dub Tam, man. I think she brings a lot to No Jumper. I think she's being underlooked right here. And I think Adam's tone here is very dismissive of Tam's true talents. Let's keep watching though. Hold on. I'm going to run it back. But I definitely think Tam on 3, maybe 2 to 3 shows a week is needed. Am I tripping or do y'all agree? But let's start it back.
Tam, right now on the Thursday show, I think that's like a good runway for her to develop her skill set and sort of show us what she's capable of. I don't think she necessarily needs to be on the show like multiple times per week right now. I feel like Tam is still building. And also she's doing podcasts with Dejon for whatever reason.
All right, so before we get to the rest of the video where he kind of starts talking about their back and forth over the Taylor Swift thing, which is a minuscule back and forth. Nonetheless, my name is not Dejon. And Laura already told you when I was working there to stop calling me that because it comes off as racist and like you're trying to insinuate that I'm just some ghetto crack baby. I'm not. My name is Dejon. Dejon. D, motherfucker. D. D. Like D as in the D that Jason Love put in your wife. D. D, motherfucker. 2, Tam being a co-host on A Day in LA has nothing to do with her performance at No Jumper. Tam being a co-host on a Dan Lake podcast has nothing to do with her performance at No Jumper. It has not affected her performance at No Jumper whatsoever. She has not missed one episode of No Jumper because she was at a Dan and Lay. We don't even have Tam on the same days. Tam is here Wednesday night, and then she goes and does your show on Thursday. Tam has never, no one can ever find any footage of me or Tam or I, bashing No Jumper while Tam has been here. I have toned down my angst and dismay for Adam and No Jumper since Tam has joined. Out of respect for my co-host, because I don't want to put her in a difficult situation. I don't want to be sitting here bashing Adam while Tam is sitting right here and then she's caught in the middle. I've toned down my dismay. If I have something to say about Adam, I try to say it in a more constructive way than I formerly did before she joined the show. I've toned down my angst for Adam. I've raised my tolerance for Adam since Tam has joined this platform, as to not put her in an awkward or a comfortable situation. No one can find any footage outside of us maybe laughing at Adam for getting beat up in the ring and not swinging back, but everybody on earth did that. Outside of the Jason Love fight boxing match in Florida, you cannot find any footage of Tam and I ever bashing Adam, talking down on No Jumper, talking down on Adam on this show. You cannot find any footage of me bashing Adam and talking down on Adam while Tam was sitting right here next to me. I would never put her in that situation. I respect her too much. I care about her too much. I don't want to see her suffer because of that. Another great point that we have to acknowledge is that Tam, on her own cognizance, made the decision to come join a day in LA. Tam's a big girl. She's a grown-ass woman. I don't own Tam. You don't own Tam. She's not Harriet Tubman. She's not a piece of property. She's not a slave. She's a grown woman. If she wants to be a part of No Jumper, then come here Wednesdays and podcast with me and talk about LA topics and do our whole tandem that we're building together. That's her prerogative. And unless you got her in some sort of exclusive type of contract, which you don't, why do you care that she's coming over here? I could see if Tam was coming over here and we just sitting here bashing you, or she just sitting here drinking her tea while I sit here and bash you. That's not happening. We've never said anything ultra negative about you since Tam has joined the show. So why do I have to come up in this conversation? What does Tam being on a Dan and Lay podcast every Wednesday night have to do with okay. What does Tam have to do, being on the show have to do with No Jumper? I'm so confused. I'm very, very, very confused. More Tam, man. Shout out to Tam. Let's finish watching the video. And no, also, you asked why is Tam over here? You said for whatever reason, you implied that you don't know why Tam. You're questioning why Tam podcast over here. I'm going to come back to this video. I'm going to play it again. I'm going to show you guys. You thought I was a dope podcaster. You thought I made great content. So why wouldn't Tam think that? Hold on.
And I love Dejon for that. I see it. You know what I'm saying? We work hard on this motherfucker. Crazy. Hey, for sure. The Atlanta report.
Hold on, wrong video. This one. Oh man, I gotta sit through all of this. All right, it's gonna load up. When it gets to that point, I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull up Adam, bigging up my report card, bigging up my platform. I really could pull up a lot more, but nonetheless, Adam, I'm a fucking vibe. I'm knowledgeable. I know how to talk about hip hop well. I'm funny. I'm attractive. I'm good looking. I can do drama, but I can also be serious and do serious interviewing. Why wouldn't Tam want to come over here? What you mean for whatever reason? For those reasons, because I'm a fucking vibe. That's why Tam's over here every Wednesday. Because we get along, we make good content together, we respect and appreciate each other, and I'm a fucking vibe. The same vibe that you had on your platform and was paying. The same vibe that you bigged up in the video I'm about to pull up. I'm a vibe. That's why Tam is over here. Hold on. I got it, y'all. Don't worry about nothing. It's on the screen. Don't tell me it disappeared. Oh, my God. Oh, it disappeared, y'all. Do worry about something. I clicked off of it on accident, y'all. Nonetheless, I'll pull it up in a moment. We'll finish watching this video. I'll pull it up. I'll send it to myself again.
Like Tam, right? That's with Dejon for whatever reason. Okay. Brody Deej said, as a person, she hates all white people. I'm not gonna lie. My thoughts on Tam did change a little bit when she said that Taylor Swift came from a rich family and that she would have been rich even if she didn't become a superstar, because the reality is that Taylor Swift's parents own a Christmas tree farm. And I realized that Tam was just like talking out of her ass and hoping that nobody else would know right there. But that kind of blew my mind of like, oh shit, like she put a fake narrative on Taylor Swift. That's kind of crazy. Just because, you know, to me, Taylor Swift, I love her so much that I was just kind of shocked and taken aback by that one, you know? Like Tam, right now on the Thursday show, I think that's like a good runway.
So this whole back and forth over the Taylor Swift situation, I call cap. I think Adam is upset that Tam is over here podcasting. And he needs to say that. He needs to just come out, be a man, come out and say, hey, Tam, I don't like that you're over there with Dejon. Communicate that. Effective communication. Just say it. Come out and say that you don't like that Tam is a co-host over here. You don't give a fuck about Taylor Swift. We really think that Adam cares about Taylor Swift. First off, Tam already debunked the whole Taylor Swift narrative. She Googled, did Taylor Swift grow up with money, and it showed that her family owned all these multi-million-dollar businesses and properties and that she grew up with money. So, boom, you're wrong in your argument. There's that. You know, that's not where the smoke is coming from. The smoke with Tam, the beef between Tam and Adam comes from Tam being on this podcast. That's why he's saying he only wants Tam on No Jumper once a week. And he's not man enough to just say, you know what? I'm not comfortable with Tam being on a Dan Lay podcast. And that's a conversation that they should have had from jump. That's a conversation that Adam should have had with Tam. That conversation really has nothing to do with me. And I'm going to leave that at that. That conversation has nothing to do with me. So for me to be brought up during your disgruntlement with Tam and she does a podcast with Dejon. First off, who the fuck is Dejon? And two, she does a podcast with Dejon for whatever reason. Why you got to shame me? What you say fuck me for? Now, why am I in it? But I found the video. I'm DMing it to myself. It's in the Win folder. I got a folder called Win. So I'm going to send it to myself, and then you can watch it. Where's Win? W-I-N. Hold on. Where's the Win? I hate when I can't find a damn folder. Search, Win. Here it is. Win mustard in it. Okay, there we go. All right, it's sending, but yeah, man. Adam, you can't shame or knock Tam for podcasting with me when, one, you've podcasted with me on numerous occasions. You've bigged up my platform. You've held up a Dan Lay magazines. You was a consultant for a Dan Lay magazine. Are you forgetting that? Are you forgetting that you were an executive consultant for a Dan Lay magazine and helped me pick artists to go on the 2023 LA freshman cover? Are you forgetting that? Are you forgetting we had that agreement? Are you forgetting that I told you when I got offered the job at No Jumper, I have a conversation. I can show you the text with Adam. I said the only way I will come work for No Jumper is if you come work for a Dan Lay magazine. Are you forgetting that? And he helped me pick artists for the 2023 LA freshman cover. He was a consultant for a Dan Lay magazine. That was part of the deal. So you can't knock Tam for being over here when you used to be over here technically. Just not on camera, just behind the scenes consult work. Let it go, Adam. Whatever happened between you and I, let it go. It was a while ago. Let it go. That has nothing to do with Tam. Don't take whatever happened between you and I out on the homegirl, because like I said, she's a dope podcaster. She's educated, articulate, all of those things. Great interviewer, talented, creative. She's gold. She's podcasting gold. Don't lose such a valuable asset to No Jumper because of your disdain for me. And the most hypocritical part about all of this is when I got into the incident at Rolling Loud, when I beat up old boy at Rolling Loud and then got jumped after, who was the first person to call me and talk about it on camera? Adam. And that same day he said, I know me and dude been through XYZ, but I still like that dude. There's something about him I still like. When Smack was talking shit about you and you needed to get back at him, who did you call? And you called my old number and it was out of service. And then I sent you my new number and you called me. And you talked to me about Smack liking the trannies on Instagram and stuff like that. So you've done, in 2025, you did content with me over the phone, but you did content with me, but it's wrong for Tam to do content with me? That just doesn't make any sense.
Final thoughts on Dejon Paul's rap report card.
It just doesn't make any sense. You can't knock Tam for being over here when we've done content together last year. When you've bigged me up over the years for being a dope content creator. Let's check it out.
Final thoughts on Dejon Paul's rap report card. I don't know what's worse, the weak-ass media personalities coming up with weak-ass arguments as to why a media personality shouldn't have opinions about music. That shit's embarrassing. Or the weak-ass, lame-ass, lazy-ass rappers who are all complaining about the fact that they got bad grades and shit. Let's be real. The city is not exactly at a high point in terms of music right now. Everybody needs a kick in the ass. The problem with that report card is not that it's too negative. The problem is that it's too positive. If anything, he's being a little too kind. There's a lot of motherfuckers out there who are just straight up living in a state of delusion, thinking that...
All right, that's enough from Kiwi Head. But yeah, y'all. I feel like Tam is a valuable asset to No Jumper. She's a valuable asset over here, and there's nothing wrong with that. And until she start missing episodes because she's with me, or until you see me bad-mouthing No Jumper or Adam22 while she's sitting right here, until you see her bashing Adam or bashing No Jumper while she's sitting on this show, her being over here should not come up in conversation like that. In a negative light. If it's something positive, cool. But in a negative light, if it's something constructive, cool. But in a negative light, I didn't like that. I didn't like that, Adam. I didn't like that you holding that against Tam. You being petty. You doing it like a bitch type way. You doing it like a bitch would do it. Like how a female would do it. Like you kind of like holding it against her that she's over here without verbally expressing how you feel as a man. Pull Tam to the side and say how you feel about it. These little underdigs, this is not your first time doing it. You've been saying it, like you even said it on that your sit down with Munchie B, your first sit down after y'all whole incident. You said, like, I don't know why my hosts keep going over the podcast with Dejon. I don't know what that's about. Say it with your chest, though. Say it with your chest. Drop your nuts and say why you have a problem with Tam or any of your hosts podcast with me, and tell them to their faces that you have a problem with it. Lush asked, could he come to the Danley podcast before he came? And you told him yes. You told him, yeah, you can go. So say it with your chest. Drop your nuts. Be a man about it. If you don't fuck with me and you don't want to see your hosts fucking with me, let them know that so that they can make their own decisions. But don't like secretly chip away at them and try to punish them. It's like you're trying to punish them for fucking with me. That's not cool. I don't fuck with that. That's how a female would handle it, in my opinion. That's how a female would handle it, in my opinion. Someone asked, what's my record for live viewers? One, there's a lot of podcasters in this space that can't maintain 100 live viewers. A lot of them. It's people that are on way bigger shows that can't. I'm not even gonna throw people under the bus, but there's people at No Jumper when they do their own streams on their own channels, they're not getting 100. They'll be at like 58 the whole time. Two, I think we've had like 400 live viewers on the couch back here, and then the most live viewers I've ever had was the episode after the Rolling Loud incident. It was like 2,000 people in the chat, and that's when AZ Chike sent his super chat. That was my peak live viewers was 2,000 after the Rolling Loud. Because remember, the Rolling Loud incident happened Sunday. That Monday, I was back, even though I had webs on the back of my neck and my lip was still busting and all of that. I was back on camera the very 2,000 live viewers. So, yeah. As far as the Taylor Swift thing, I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, but I know how to read, and I read that what Tam posted. Tam posted a screenshot, and she said the screenshot was a Google search where she asked, "Did Taylor Swift grow up rich?" And it confirmed that she did, and her family owned all these different businesses, and they had all these properties and stuff. So yeah, Tam was Dub Tam. Keeping it on No Jumper, I have to react to this Almighty Suspect take about not just his influence on LA rap, but also Lush saying that he's on the Mount Rushmore of LA rap, and then he's saying that LA copies NorCal and Detroit.
I said LA.
So let's react to that before we move off the No Jumper topics. Hold on, y'all. Shout out to Suspect, but I got something to say about this. This is about music lightweight too, so let's get to it. This is on the No Jumper News because it's not Thursday show no more. Let's check it out.
I said LA rappers in general. I said we're losing our sound as a city. And they also left out how I said NorCal and Detroit. Do both. I also said Detroit and don't sound like they from here. And then all in the comment, take away how you feel about me. Take away how you feel what my career was or what wasn't. Eat a dick. If nigga want to be quite honest, nigga, I'm responsible for a whole lot of shit around this. Made millions of dollars off my sound. Let's not do that like I wasn't one of the originators. You feel me? It wasn't me by myself. I never acted as just I was just like the hell high king of everything. I never said that, but it was definitely a part of some that.
You're on the Mount Rushmore of the styles of
let's be serious.
The modern Los Angeles rap landscape.
Lush is a glazer. Lush is a glazer, y'all. Almighty Suspect is one of the pioneers of what many call traffic rap, LA traffic rap sound. That is the Draco, post-Draco era of Draco and Forward era. That's Draco, Shoreline Mafia, Frosty, Almighty Suspect, AZ Chike, Blue Bus Clan, Blueface, that wave of artists. When I think of Mount Rushmore, I want to put the most successful artists. I want to put the artists that, you feel me? I would put the artists that, because it's not like he's the originator of traffic rap. That would be Draco. Nervous music is what Ralphie prefers to call it. Anytime I've interviewed Ralphie, he said, don't call it traffic rap, call it nervous music. But I've seen, what's the platform? It's slipping my mind. It's a big platform. They wrote a whole extensive article on it. Damn, I forgot. Vice. Was it Vice? It was another one. It was. I'll find that out. But I've seen different platforms refer to it as traffic rap. I call it traffic rap, but it could also be called nervous music. It's that Draco sound, post-Draco sound. The current sound of LA is much more watered down and corny now, but in its time, it was the premier sound. So I'm giving Almighty Suspect his flowers. He was a pioneer of that. He was one of the first artists popping off during that era, during that time, and coming with some originality in his flow and delivery. When I think of Mount Rushmore, I think of the GOATs. I think of the 4 GOATs of that. And I feel like he's been surpassed in that regard. But pioneer, definitely. Almighty Suspect is one of the pioneers of that sound. Him, Frosty, Draco, Greedo, Shoreline Mafia. Those were the artists that popped off with originality during that time. But Mount Rushmore, I feel like there's been artists that have had more success, including AZ Tyke, including Blue Buzz Clan, including Blueface. There's been artists with more success that came from that wave. That 2017, 2018, 2019 era of LA rap. And also, I remember years ago, Suspect and I had like a conversation about his influence of Blueface. Frosty claimed it. Frosty's like, no, Blueface is a knockoff of me. Suspect's like, no, Blueface is a knockoff of me, and Frosty got his sound from me. It's all questionable. Then you got people who say that flow comes from Catchy the Great. Rest in peace, Catchy. So it's all debatable, but for Lush to just say you're on the Mount Rushmore LA rap, I felt like that was glazing. That's Lush being Lush. That's definitely Lush being Lush. I absolutely. Where are my mods? I don't know where my mod. Oh, Seven's right there. Seven's here. Seven is here. Read the chat. Send a super chat. If you want me to read the chat, send a super chat. Point and Shoot is pleased with my audio today. That's good. That's what's up. Shout out to Point and Shoot. He's been on me about my audio. But back to this video. I'm going to watch it again. Make sure I didn't miss out on any points. Oh, also, we got to talk about the whole Still in the Bay Area sound. Let's check it out. A lot of people accuse Draco of getting this sound from the Bay Area. But no one sent me exact references. Let's check it. Let's check this video out again.
I said LA rappers in general. I said we're losing our sound as a city. And they also left out how I said NorCal and Detroit, because do both. I also said Detroit and don't sound like they from here. And then all in the comment, take away how you feel about me, take away how you feel what my career was or what wasn't. Eat a dick. If nigga want to be quite honest, nigga, I'm responsible for a whole lot of shit around this. Made millions of dollars off my sound. Let's not do that like I wasn't one.
All right. He said niggas made millions of dollars off his sound. The only person I could say made millions of dollars off that sound is Blueface. And I think the more important question would be, why didn't we see Frosty and Suspect blow up and have the same commercial success as Blueface? Since he, according to them, and according to many, I don't even give him that. I see that Frosty Suspect influence on Blueface's music and sound early on, his early music. So why didn't they then apply that same talent and sound and flow and delivery to their own commercial success and making successful records with that? I think that's the better conversation. That's the conversation I want to have with Suspect on camera. That's the conversation. Not, oh, Blueface made millions of dollars using my flow. Okay, why didn't that happen for you and Frosty? What was the issue? Why didn't Frosty and Suspect have the same commercial success or go as far as Blueface? Why didn't those opportunities come their way? Or did they come their way and they squandered it or XYZ? Those are the conversations I want to have. I feel like, imagine, okay, we say what a lot of people say what Blueface did for LA Rap, 8 multi-platinum records. Imagine if Blueface had 8 multi-platinum records, Frosty had 8 multi-platinum records, and Suspect had 8 multi-platinum records. Then the city is really popping. Not just one person being successful using y'all flow. All 3 of y'all use that flow and delivery to become successful. Why does it only have to be one? Let's keep watching the video.
One of the originators. You feel me? It wasn't me by myself. I never acted as just, I was just like the hell high king of everything. I never said that, but it was definitely a part of some that.
You're on the Mount Rushmore of the styles of
let's be serious.
The modern Los Angeles rap landscape.
Let's be serious. Look how y'all feel about me, but the truth is the truth. I said LA rappers and
again, I think that Suspect is a pioneer of the current LA rap sound. To me, when I think of Mount Rushmore isn't just the pioneers. Mount Rushmores are the pioneers that had the success with it. That's just how I feel. To me, pioneers that had success with it are the ones I put on the Mount Rushmore. Not just, oh, he created a sound, he created a wave. Like, no, he created a sound and wave and benefited greatly from it and put out hit records with that sound. And everybody across the land, everybody knows XYZ. Not some sort of unsung type of situation where it's like, oh, if you know, you know. To me, that's not what Mount Rushmore is. So my issue here is not with what Suspect is saying. Don't conflate it. My issue is, because Suspect didn't say Mount Rushmore. My issue with this conversation is Lush Glazing putting him on a Mount Rushmore, which is his opinion. He's entitled to that, and I would debate that with Lush if he's ever down to. Adam's going to throw a hissy fit, but whatever. My issue is with the Mount Rushmore take, not with what Suspect is saying. Suspect did play a role. Suspect was a part of a great dope movement. Suspect deserves his flowers, and I'm saying Suspect is a pioneer of that sound and wave. To me, I hope when I say Mount Rushmore to me implies that you are not only a pioneer, but that you also had the success to go along with it. It's the tandem of two. It's you having both. I need the duality there. That's what I require from my Mount Rushmore. So that's why I disagree. I would not put Suspect on a Mount Rushmore for current LA or new LA, the new LA sound. I would just say he's one of the pioneers of it. It's like Benjamin Franklin, how Benjamin Franklin isn't on isn't on Mount Rushmore, even though he was so integral and instrumental in the formation of this country, allegedly, but he was never a president. You get what I'm saying? Suspect was never the hottest rapper in LA. Suspect was never the hottest rapper in LA. Suspect was never the king or a king of LA rap. He never got there. He had the potential to, but he never got there. So I can't put him on that Mount Rushmore, in my opinion. And this is me speaking musically respectfully. I fuck with Suspect, y'all know that, but I can't put Suspect on the Mount Rushmore. What I can say is pioneer. He's the Benjamin Franklin of the new LA rap sound. He wasn't George Washington. He never got to be a president. Palm trees in the chat or I'm gone. Palm trees in the chat or I'm gone. What y'all mean y'all can't hear me? How y'all can't hear me, but people are reacting to what I'm saying. People are saying Benjamin Franklin. What's going on? How can y'all not hear me, but y'all repeating what I'm saying? People are saying Benjamin Franklin and stuff. Oh, he's trolling. Okay, yeah. Y'all can definitely hear me. Let's see. What else do I got? Shout out to Suspect. Shout out to Love. Shout out to Tay Third. Shout out to Tam Burger, man. It's all love. It's all love. Oh, speaking of Frosty, this is something I want to react to. Adam is such a fucking culture vulture, man. This is hilarious, but it's sad at the same time. So Frosty the Snowman, I gotta make myself small so y'all can read it. Frosty the Snowman tweeted, I just checked the discovery from my case. They found my identity off No Jumper. Adam22 used a bitch piece. Adam replied, you're 35. Frosty's not 35. You're 35 and you got caught stealing Pokemon cards. Shut the fuck up. What's y'all take on this, man? Is Adam and No Jumper wrong for posting the security footage of Frosty allegedly stealing those Pokemon cards out the mall or out that store or whatnot? And if that is in fact in his discovery, does that confirm that Adam is hip hop police? My take on it, while you guys form your own opinion in the chat, my take on it is, it's the way it's handled. And I've always said it. You can't just post Frosty stealing Pokemon cards out of the mall, but then when Frosty drops a project or a song, you don't post that, you don't support that, you don't talk about that. To me, that is the culture vulture of the situation. That's what makes him a culture vulture. You platform when Frosty gets into legal trouble or does something that could get him into legal trouble. But when Frosty is out here dropping music, doing collabs with Detroit rappers, with E Killer from Baby Stone Gorillas, when he's dropped the whole tape with him, when he's putting out music and trying to revive his rap career, there's no coverage. But then when Frosty is allegedly stealing Pokemon cards, there's plenty of coverage. To me, that's what's wrong. To me, that's definitely what's wrong. And again, if No Jumper's coverage of that is in Frosty's discovery and Frosty posts that, I feel like that's a bad look for Adam, and I feel like that confirms and makes him come off as more hip-hop police, which is a strong narrative against Adam, is that he's the feds, and which is why a lot of rappers, particularly street and gangster rappers, the notable ones, stay away from No Jumper and don't do interviews up there because of this type of shit. And then when questioned or challenged about it, look at what Adam has to say. I'll read it again. If you want me to read your chat, send a super chat, man. I'm not obligated to read your chat for free. That's crazy. Unless you a mod. He said, you're 35 and you got caught stealing Pokemon cards. Shut the fuck up. That's just hella dismissive. It's like, yeah, nigga, me and my platform got you in legal trouble. They use what No Jumper posted in your discovery file, and that's why you got arrested and had to bail out. But so what? You're not going to do nothing about it. Shut the fuck up. That tonality is why I think Adam is a culture vulture. And now Frosty sees that. At the same time, Frosty, and this goes for a couple of the next topics because I have to talk about X4 in a moment. If Frosty was focused 100% on his career, he wouldn't allegedly be in mall stealing Pokemon cards. Frosty is talented, just as talented as Suspect. Some would say even more. There's no reason why Frosty should not be putting out big records. There's no reason why Frosty shouldn't be, especially with his personality, should not be just as successful commercially as Blueface. He should have platinum plaques on his walls. So if Frosty took his rap career more serious, he wouldn't be in this situation. I'm being on self-accountability. So yes, Adam and No Jumper exploited you and exposed you for the Pokemon cards thing and got you in some legal trouble according to you. It's in your discovery file. But you wouldn't have been in that situation, Frosty, if you had been in the studio or somewhere promoting your music, somewhere doing a rollout, somewhere working on your craft, working on your career. And I feel like Frosty's been out for 10 years at this point, if not more, and hasn't had a big record in a while. He fell out with Empire when he was signed to them. I just feel like his rap career is damn near dormant at this point, or it's just not popping off like it used to. If he focused on his career instead of the fucking Pokemon cards or whatever other hustles he's up to, he wouldn't be in this situation. So you kind of got to self-reflect on that one too. It's not all on Adam. Yes, Adam is a culture vulture. Yes, what Adam did and how he responded to you is wrong here. But we got to put some responsibility on Frosty too, right? We got to put some responsibility on Frosty. You're trolling with the audio issue. Everyone else is saying that they can hear me, and they're literally reacting. They're talking about Frosty and Pokemon cards in the chat. So how could there be an audio issue if they're replying to what I'm saying clearly? My mods will let me know. Like Seven has my number. She would text me if there was an audio issue. There's no audio issue going on. Send your super chats if you want me to respond to you, unless you're a mod. But yeah, shout out to Frosty. I would like to see a comeback. I want to see Frosty make a musical comeback. And again, I feel like, and I've told Suspect this, to me, the only way Frosty and Suspect can make comebacks in their individual careers is if they put the bullshit aside, come together, and make music together. That's the only way they're going to make musical headlines. The only way, unless they get lucky and go in the studio and just make some infectious, catchy song, 9 times out of 10, the only way that both Frosty and Almighty Suspect's music career is going to revive is if they squash their bullshit beef, which is over like some bitch they were sharing, mixed with a little Dine and Dash drama. If they squash that childish shit and they come back together and they work together and they put out a collaboration, that would set LA rap on fire. Everybody would talk about it, every platform. If the record was high, if it's over the right beat, if the lyrics is right, if the song structure is right, if it's not no bullshit, no sloppy shit, if it's a clean-cut record that they do together in tandem, I think that will revive both of their rap careers. But apparently it's not that serious. They got to come back together like Shoreline. I agree. Almighty Suspect and Frosty the Snowman need to reunite on some Shoreline Mafia shit. You see how Shoreline running shit and charting on Billboard and performing at Coachella and all these big venues and touring outside of California and doing all these big major things because they put their bullshit differences aside and came back together. That's what Frosty and Almighty Suspect have to do, in my opinion. In my opinion, that's what they need to do. I think that otherwise, like unless they, like I said, unless they get lucky, like go in the studio and make like 1 in a million chance they just make a bona fide hit record everybody fucks with. They got to do something. They got to do something together at this point. And like I said, I've talked to Suspect about it, and he told me it was, what did he say? Over a bitch or something. Like something to do with a bitch. Like them both fucking on the same bitch or something like that. The whole Dine and Dash thing is just like parsley on top. But yeah, I definitely want to see them come back together. Hopefully we can make that happen 2026. All right. Somebody kick Gush Returns out my chat, man. Somebody kick him out the chat, man. Get him out of here. I'm tired of seeing him. Boot him out of here. Loser. Boot him out of here, man. We don't care, man. Boot him out. Oh, man. All right. Oh, the Hoover heist. I got to react to this Hoover heist. This shit was crazy. Did you guys see, allegedly, this group of Hoovers broke into a jewelry store and the way they did it? This was like some GTA shit. And y'all know I'm not even moved by shit like this, but this was cinematic. This shit looked like a motherfucking movie, like a GTA video game. I'm finna pull this up. Hold on. All right. So, there was a chaotic smash and grab at a jewelry store in Orange County this past Friday. It was the start of a violent rampage that included high-speed getaways and crashes. Surveillance footage captured thieves rushing into classic jewelers in Anaheim Hills after they crashed an SUV through the front door of the business. Let's check this out, man. Let's check this out.
Thieves on a rampage as they clean out classic jewelers in Anaheim Hills. Grabbing everything they can and running out with 2 waiting cars.
About 8 gentlemen run through ski masks, hoodies, hammers, crowbars, trash cans. They smashed every showcase I have.
The terrifying crime began with
Look.
crashing an SUV
This some movie shit. Look.
and quickly escalated as they ambushed the store.
I said, I have a gun, get out, I have a gun. They saw my gun on the counter. They grabbed it.
The thieves making off with the gun and 3/4
Stole the gun,
of
too.
custom jewels, but their getaway came to a crashing end a few miles away in Fullerton after being spotted by Anaheim police who were following along. One car causing a multi-vehicle crash at Orangethorpe and Lemon. 4 suspects arrested after they tried to make a run. Diamonds and jewels among the debris. Several innocent drivers injured. The second getaway car crashing into a driver a couple miles away. SWAT officers swarming the neighborhood, tracking down 3 of the 4 suspects in that vehicle. Given their MO and detailed disguises with masks, goggles, and gloves, detectives say they've likely done this before.
This is not their first time doing it. By the looks in the video that I've seen, this is someone that had a plan. They attempted that plan, but the outstanding police work.
Violent smash and grab.
It was the scariest moment of my life. It was chaos. I thought I was gonna get shot or hit by a hammer.
Thieves on a rampage as they clean out.
The way they drove through that, the door, the window, the glass was crazy. And then I thought them having 2 getaway cars was kind of clever, but they both got caught, both ended in crashes. But E for effort, I thought that was crazy. And I don't support crime and shit like that, but I like heist, like movies. Like I watch a lot of heist movies like The Town and Heat and things like that. I like heist. The Ocean's movies and what's that? Takers was a heist movie. I like heist, so I like that. That was interesting. I watched that video a few times. The fact that they drove the SUV and left the SUV, hopefully they didn't leave any print. I mean, they got caught anyway, but if they were to get away, could be no prints left in the. It was a stolen SUV. They crashed that, then boom, they take everything, take the nigga's gun, take the jewelry store owner's gun, hop in 2 different Hellcats, peel off in opposite directions. Police following them. Helicopters. This car gets in an accident. They take off on foot. They catch them in the neighborhood. This car gets in an accident. They take off on foot. They catch them later. E for effort, man. You almost had it. Seems scripted is crazy. Dejon on GTA would be hilarious. I would be Lester. I would be the brainiac talking on the phone, running the boards. I would be the do you like the first mission in GTA? That's when they drive into the car place, right? Hold on, yeah, I'm getting some food delivered. I'm hungry. Yeah, the drivers. Yeah, F grade to the getaway drivers. L the getaway drivers. How both y'all cars crashed. At least one car was supposed to get away. At least one. That's the point of having 2 cars, right? So that y'all can go this way, we can go that way. And somebody get away with something. Yeah. Absolutely. L the getaway drivers on that one. All right. I wanted to take some time to talk about not X4's legal troubles, because I watched clips of the Khalid guy going on No Jumper on the Adam and Wax show and saying that he never testified against X4, that he was subpoenaed. He got like semi-arrested or whatnot, and they took him to the courthouse, but he didn't testify. He's not in any paperwork against X4. He clarified that he's not snitching against X4, which contradicts or dispels whatever X4 was saying in his phone interview with Young and Hefe. I don't want to highlight that because I know that's not necessarily my bag, but what I want to talk about is how, and this kind of ties back into the Frosty thing, but just in a much more serious degree, because X4 is facing life in prison over this situation. I want to talk about how X4 had potential to be one of the top LA street rappers. Like, he was doing his thing out here before, and it looked like he finally, because he did 4 years before, he did 2 years after that. He's had jail stints that like debunked his whole career before, but it seemed like X4 was finally about to blow up, finally about to do his thing on the West Coast music scene. I remember when he went up to Interscope and they wanted to sign him, and he was being managed by Adrian Switch, because first Wack wanted to manage him, but he turned down that situation. Then he got with Adrian Switch, who's a gentleman I've worked with before. Adrian Switch is known for managing Kid Ink, the rapper from like the 2010s, who had a lot of success. I believe he was signed to DJ Ill Will. He had the records, let's be honest, with Dage Loaf. He has record with Chris Brown. Nonetheless, Adrian Switch was representing X4 for a while. I remember when he took him up to Interscope, and he had a deal with Geffen Records, which is a part of the Interscope Geffen A&M music group at the time. He had a deal. I literally know the A&R that presented the deal at the time. He's no longer at Geffen or Interscope. It seems like X4 was about to blow up. You getting this major label deal. You got an experienced manager. You all over the podcast. His interview with Adam22 was going viral. The clip where he refused to answer certain questions from Adam, the Fed-like questions, like he was going viral all over the timeline. He dropped that Impact 10 project. It was called Impact 10 because I gave him like a foreign impact on the report card. He literally had the report card in the back on the cover art. He was collaborating with Ralphie. He had the records with Dodie Six going crazy. Like, it seemed like everything was lining up well for him. Like, he was about to get to the next level. Not shortly, but a couple months before he got arrested, I remember having a conversation with X4, and I was like, what happened with the deal with Interscope or with Geffen? Like, when you're releasing music, why am I not seeing Interscope or Geffen's name on it? And he told me he didn't go on. He said in the DM, he told me that he don't listen to nobody. He said Swish wanted him to do the deal a certain way, and he don't listen to people. Nobody tell him how to do shit. So he didn't do that deal. And I feel like that was a mistake. I feel like if Adrian Swish brings you a major label deal, especially with Interscope, I always say, because there's a few LA rappers that I could point out that had offers from Interscope that turned them down. And I feel like none of them ever really went anywhere after that. Interscope is the best label for an LA gangster rapper. Because look at the precedents. Look at the track record. All the way back from Tupac, Death Row, Dre, Snoop, Dogg Pound, to The Game, to even Kendrick, technically. Aftermath, TDE, Aftermath, Interscope. Interscope Records, if I was an LA rapper, if I was a West Coast rapper, I would want to be on Interscope Records. They know how to turn a LA or West Coast gangster rapper into a superstar. So when X4 had the opportunity to be a part of the Interscope, Geffen, A&M, whatever, their machine, he should have took that deal. He should have stayed with Adrian Swish. He should have ran it up. He should have worked, improved his lyricism. His flow did start to get better over time before he got locked up. He should have kept working on his craft, and I feel like X4 would have been, finally, because he's been rapping for forever since the SoundCloud days, I feel like X4 would have been a big staple in West Coast hip-hop. He has a personality. His flow is unique. He's trendy with the youth. The youth don't look at him like some old dusty gang member. Like he's like it's gang shit, but it's current and contemporary. He could have been like a funner EVK J-Bo for LA, and I feel like he fumbled that bag. He fumbled that opportunity by firing Swish, not going through with the Interscope deal. And I feel like if he had did that, he wouldn't have, I mean, it might have still happened, but I don't think he would have done the things that he's alleged to have done, which has him facing life in prison. So just another cautionary tale from West Coast hip hop. This is just another cautionary tale. Kid Ink is Brick Baby's cousin. I remember Brick saying that to me before. And Brick introduced me to Adrian Swish, which is how we ended up doing some business together with this brand Swish connected me with. But yeah, Smartino already crashed out on Adam for disrespecting Tam earlier in the stream. I'm going through my topics now. All right, let's see what else we got. We talked about the Hoovers breaking into the jewelry store with the SUV. Oh, Trump's racist post. This shit is crazy. Hold on. Donald Trump deletes Obama ape video after massive backlash. White House throws staffer under the bus. So first I thought this was a hoax. I didn't think that this happened, but I guess it really did happen. I'm trying to see what it says, or did it not say anything? It was just AI, Michelle Obama and President Barack Obama. The Obamas as monkeys. This is racist. I'm very disappointed in Trump. Very disappointed. Not shocked, but disappointed. I wonder what Brandon has to say. Is Brandon still in the chat? This is his guy. I like Trump's attitude a lot of times. I like his disposition. I like his villain role. I like his villain arc. All of those things. But this is racist. I'm not for blatant racism. This is wrong. This is shitty. L Trump. Brandon would defend that. Brandon, where are you at, man? Are you still in the chat? Brandon, are you still in the chat, man? Are you defending this loser? This is some weird shit. This is definitely weird. This is how they see us, though. This is no matter how cool you think you are with a Trump or Adam22 or somebody, they at the end of the day, they're still white and you're still black, and they still see you as a monkey. They still see you as a slave. They still see you as an African booty scratcher. No matter how cool you get with a white man, deep down inside, he still views you as this. And that's why it has to be all business. It can't be personal. It has to be all business. You cannot take it personal. So let this be a lesson to anybody who thinks that Trump, Adam, or any old white man, any old white dude really, really, really fucks with black people. Deep down, they have like a switch that they could cut on and do some racist shit like this. Any ounce of respect I have for Trump went out the window with this post once I found out it was real. Because I saw this on the timeline, and I'm like, somebody just made this AI post and then photoshopped Trump's Facebook page on it. But for this to be true, disgusting. Disgusting. L Trump. All right, we got a couple more topics before I get out of here because I don't want to eat on camera. I want to talk to you guys about this versus Lil Wayne versus T.I. or T.I. versus 50 Cent. Which one makes more sense? Lil Wayne versus T.I. or T.I. versus 50 Cent? We don't have to spend too much time on this, but I just want to know, chat. And we need to work on mods. We need to work on getting being able to run polls in here as well. But which one makes more sense? Wayne versus T.I. or 50 versus T.I.? I feel like Wayne is washing T.I. I might be leaning towards the T.I. versus 50 Cent. I feel like Wayne is washing T.I. I feel like more, and then Wayne has way more influence on hip hop than T.I. has had. I feel like Wayne is washing T.I. T.I. and 50 makes more sense. Game versus 50, that's not gonna happen. T.I. versus 1-800-TIPS. Yeah, I saw 50 Cent post T.I. doing that. What's it called when you do Crime Stoppers commercial? But that was a part of his like parole agreement, orchestrated by Leroy Cohen. T.I. versus Luda, that's more accurate. I agree there. T.I. versus Luda is more accurate. I agree. Okay, what else did I want to react to? T.I. got better music than Wayne. T.I. has better music than Lil Wayne. T.I. has better music than Lil Wayne. T.I. versus Gunna, y'all petty, man. Y'all are petty. That was part of T.I.'s parole agreement. He was facing a lot of time for having the silencers and the guns. T.I. was facing a lot of time for having those silencers and guns. I remember that situation around the time he did the Paper Trail album or right before. Part of his parole agreement was that he had to do a Crime Stoppers commercial. What's wrong with eating on camera? I don't want to sit here and eat my food. So when my food gets here, I'm going to end the stream. It's not going to be here till like 3:15. So we still got another 20-some minutes. Don't trip. Wayne don't got good songs for real. He can rap his ass. Wayne got the Dedication mixtapes, Carter 2, Carter 3. He can play Hot Boy shit. He can play anything he's a part of. All the Drake features, all the Nicki features. I just don't see T.I. having it. Like T.I., Rubber Band Man, what you know about that? Live Your Life with Rihanna, that's a big one. That's a real big one. Now, why you gonna go do that? Do that, Hunter? Why you gonna go do that? Do that? He got some hits. Don't get me wrong. T.I. got some hits, but I don't think he got it on Wayne. I think T.I. versus 50 is a better one. And 50's not a walk in the park because 50 got Many Man, In the Club, 21 Questions. Candy Shop's a big record, even though I'm not sure that will win around, but it's a big record. I Get Money, one of my favorite 50 Cent songs. Wanksta, Hate It or Love It with Game, all the G Unit records, PIMP, How to Rob from back in the 90s. I think that's a better lineup. Dejon, this is something I will read. Dejon, what's your educated guess on what Lush wrote for a big artist allegedly? What song? Lush said he wrote a song for a big artist. I do remember hearing him say that. Who did Lush write a song for? I don't know. That's a good question. It would have to be somebody alternative. Asher Roth? I don't fucking know. The T.I. King album was superior, but he ain't touching Wayne Pauls. I agree. T.I. had T.I. versus T.I.P. He had King. He had Paper Trail. I remember. T.I. was one of my favorite rappers growing up. But I still got Wayne beating him. I think T.I. versus 50 Cent is a better conversation. And I might even still have 50 Cent in that rank. I have Is Wax Stealing from Blueface written down. And I don't have the clip. It was from Hold on. I'm looking for a clip. Academics spoke on this. I'm looking for academics talking about.
So if you're the manager of the guy,
Here we go. So academics is accusing Whack of having Blueface in a shady contract, double dipping, aka stealing from him. Let's check it out. And we can talk about this. This is a good music industry conversation. And I hate when that happens. I fucking hate when that happens. Hold on, y'all. I'm still here. I don't know why I'm all the fucking way down here. And now I'm upside down. What if I did the whole shit like this? That would be interesting. Hold on, y'all. Flip vertical. Okay. I don't know why it does that sometimes. All right. Academic says Blueface is getting hustled by Whack and that he is losing over 50% of his money by getting managed and signed to Whack 100. I guess he's saying it's a conflict of interest. Let's check it out.
A record label, you're double dipping. Like, for example, it's a conflict of interest. You know, I'm not going to get in their business, but I always knew Blueface was pretty stupid. I'm going to tell you why. Blueface is signed to Whack 100 and managed by Whack 100. Let me tell you how this works. When you sign to, so if you're the manager of the guy, but he's signed to your record label, you're double dipping. Like, for example, it's a conflict of interest. You know, I'm not going to get in their business, but I always knew Blueface was pretty stupid. I'm going to tell you why. Blueface is signed to Whack 100 and managed by Whack 100. Let me tell you how this works.
So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, in the state of California, that you really can't do that. You can't have, it's like a conflict of interest. You can't be somebody's, according to entertainment law, you can't be somebody's manager and their record label in the state of California. But this is something that has happened throughout the history of hip hop. Let me put my phone on silent. I apologize. It has happened throughout the history of hip hop. There has been artists that were signed to someone that was both their manager and their record label. Obviously, Puffy and Biggie is the greatest example of that, because originally Puffy was Biggie's manager and he was signed to him first through Uptown Records. Bad Boy started out as an imprint under Andre Harrell's Uptown Records. So Biggie was first signed to Bad Boy / Uptown / MCA. But then once Puff got fired and lost his deal there, he got his own deal with Clive Davis through Arista, and Biggie was signed to Bad Boy / Arista Records, but Puff was still his manager. I guess in New York, that's a conflict of interest, legal conflict of interest as well. It was brought to Puff's attention that he couldn't do both. So all Puff did was transfer the management contract over to his cousins. So until even now, still technically, Puff's cousins, I forgot their names, but he has two cousins. No, he has, one of them is his cousin. The other one is his like day one friend. He went to college with him and everything, are Biggie's managers. But basically they would do the bidding of Puff. So Puff was still his manager and his label head through proxy on the managerial side. And that's a conflict of interest. You never, as an artist, as a rapper, you never want your manager to also be your label. Those should be two separate entities. And that's double dipping. So let's say we make $1 million this year. You're going to collect off of what the label is owed, and you're going to collect off of your commission as a manager, whether it's 10, 15, 20%. So you're double dipping. You feel me? Now, if you don't know the business, or if you don't know how it works, and you just pleased with getting your part, your cut of the money, cool, you're going to go for it, but you could be getting a lot more money, or you can be getting a lot more worth because the same value that the label is bringing you is the same value that your manager is bringing you. That's why it should be two different entities. It'd be different if your manager is this person and your label is this entity. Your label's bringing you this amount of value, and then your manager is bringing you this amount of value. But it's the same person. They're bringing you the same amount of value, but they're charging you for it twice, if that makes any sense. There's another clip. I can't find it, but Academic said he doesn't know for a fact that Blueface is signed to 100 ENT. So he's saying he kind of was vague. So there is another scenario where Blueface isn't signed to 100 ENT. Blueface is just signed to Cash Money West, and then Wack is his manager. But according to this video and this narrative, he's saying that Blueface is signed to 100 ENT and Cash Money Records, and then also is managed by 100 ENT or managed by Wack 100. That would be a conflict of interest if that is in fact true. To me, it also would be a conflict of interest if I'm signed to Cash Money West and my manager works at or runs Cash Money West. That's still a conflict of interest because why is it should be separate. Why is my manager also my label head? If that makes any sense. So I don't know. I haven't seen anybody's contract. He hasn't posted anybody's he hasn't posted the contract, so we don't know for a fact. Dejon, you going to the academic show in Miami next month? I don't plan on it. My birthday's next month. I'm throwing a big birthday party and birthday stream here. That's what I'm focused on. We got a super chat from Tyler Goods, $10. Shout out to you, Good Screen Man. Keep doing your shit. Salute. Thank you. Oh, real quick, somebody just brought up Moose Man. I have to congratulate Moose Man if this comes out to be true or comes to fruition. Adam said he wants to do a show with Moose Man and Flacco. And Moose Man is moving to LA, and I want to congratulate him on his move to LA. And I would love to see Moose Man on No Jumper more. And if he does do a show with Adam, I think that's dope. And I would love to see Moose Man serve Flacco every week. I would definitely watch that because Flacco's an imbecile. I feel like Moose Man is going to debunk a lot of his false narratives, point out the hypocrisy in Flacco's rhetoric, and just show the idiocracy of Flacco and expose it. So I'm looking forward to that. Dub Moose Man. Shout out to Moose Man for that. Adam, make that happen. I don't know what he's going to call it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Moose Man serve Flacco week after week. I will definitely sub up for that. All right, let's get back to it. Let me see what we got. All right, let's get to this loser. So there's a guy named Mike Free. He's a producer, and many years ago, he sued Mustard. He claims that he was Mustard's ghost producer, that he made all of Mustard's beats, Mustard's hits during the 2010s run, and that he was the man behind Mustard. He sued Mustard, got some money, got a bunch of money. He used it to open up a restaurant/bar in LA called Fins and Feathers. It got shot up and closed a few years ago. Nonetheless, he's on Twitter subbing me for critiquing LA rappers. I'm going to read what he had to say, and I'm going to react to it. So Mike Free said he's a co-producer of I'm Different with 2 Chainz along with Mustard, but I guess he's saying that he made the whole song. I don't know. So Mike Free said, what's up with all this hating going on in the local LA music scene? Trust me, I'm an asshole in the studio, and this shit the NBA to me. Either you got it or you don't, and I will let you know. But there's a fine line between real constructive criticism versus blatant hate and disrespect. And most of the hate and disrespect seems to be clout-driven for clicks and views. Shit is lame for real. So it's kind of like a 3-part response I have, and we can go in order. The first thing I would have to say is, you admitted to also being a critic. You just do it in the studio with artists. So you critique artists in the studio. You have your own opinion on LA rap. You just tell these rappers in the studio that I posted on my Instagram or talk about it on my platform as I'm entitled to do as a media person. So we do the same things. The only difference is I'm known for doing it and I get notoriety from doing it. You do it in the shadows. That's the only difference. I'm brave enough to do it in front of the world. I'm brave enough to speak my opinion in front of the world. You do it like a mouse, like a quiet little shy church mouse. You do it in the shadows, in the whispers, as a whisper. Another thing, because you say either you got it or you don't. That's kind of the whole rhetoric. In fact, I add even more context to that. I don't just be like you got it or you don't. I tell you why you don't have it or why you do have it. I want to ask you guys, what's the fine line or what's the difference between constructive criticism and blatant hate and disrespect? And which one do you guys think as a chat that I have or I serve LA rap with? Do you guys think I blatantly hate and disrespect LA rappers? Or do you guys think I offer LA rappers constructive criticism? That's the question I pose to you guys. And then lastly, most of the hate and disrespect seems to be clout driven for clicks and views. This is the part that irritates me. If I wanted clicks and views, I would talk about gang members all day like Flacco. I would politic on gang incidents and who's beefing from what hood and shit that don't have nothing to do with music all day. I would make that my content. When you go to my Instagram, it would be about the Bloods, the Crips, the this, the that, the third. It would just be gang content all day long if I wanted clicks and views. If I wanted clicks and views and just to go viral, I could sit up here and just talk about all the DL gang members I know or DL rappers I know. If I wanted to go viral and get a whole bunch of clicks and get people watching, I know how to get some shit jumping. That's not what I do it for. Everybody knows I have a love and affinity for hip hop, and I love speaking on it and speaking my opinion on hip hop. So don't nobody get clicks and views off no fucking LA rappers. That's the opposite. I lose viewership off talking about LA rap. Every time I start talking about LA rap, the chat goes down. I start talking about some messy shit, chat goes up. So what are you talking about? But yeah, what's the difference? Let's talk about that for a minute. What is the difference between constructive criticism and disrespect and hating? To me, constructive criticism comes with solutions, comes with specific examples of what I don't like and what I feel like you could be doing better. Like, I feel like you can do something with the constructive criticism. I feel like all you can do with the hate and disrespect is either ignore it or use it as fuel. But the constructive criticism, like, you could, if you choose to, you could apply it to whatever you're doing. That's not just music, that's life. So, for example, for me, constructive criticism is if you're like, Dejon, you need to hang some more stuff on the walls. Or Dejon, you need to, do something else with the set. I like to see this on the set. Or Dejon, I want you to tweak the audio. I want you to get the audio better. Dejon, I think you should add this type of segment, that type of segment. Or Dejon, I want you to bring this rapper on. I want to see you podcast with this rapper, this person. That's constructive criticism. Hate and disrespect is when y'all be like, Dejon, quit podcasting. Fuck you. You a fat bitch. You gay. You a mook. You a F word. That's hate. That's disrespect. I feel like there's a difference between constructive criticism and hate, in my opinion. There's a strong difference between the two, and they shouldn't be conflated. Oh, this is another story I wanted to get into. Speaking of West Coast art, there's a San Diego rapper named B3 Glizzy, and his female tore his house up because I guess she caught him cheating or something. This is hilarious. Let's check it out. I really want to show Tam this because I wonder, has Tam ever destroyed somebody's car or home or property? B3 Glizzy from San Diego, home gets vandalized by a female. He said he's about to shoot a music video here. Let's check it out.
Great dick make bitches retarded, you feel me? These bitches spray painted shit, you know, this little weird ass shit, look, stab shit, this bitch hurt.
Stabbing the TV is crazy.
Weird ass bitch. I don't fuck with you. Why are you so worried about B3? That shit dead and over with, bitch. He's a clown. She didn't.
I love trannies is crazy. I love trannies on the wall is crazy.
But that's crazy. But she just bleached the nigga whole little shit.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Bitch, a loser. I'm about to shoot a music video on this shit though. New Black coming soon.
She went to town on that nigga's shit. That's crazy. I think her spray painting I love trannies on the wall might insinuate that she went through his phone or Instagram and called him on some smack shit following him or something like that. That could be the case. I don't know. I'm not too sure. But nonetheless, I think that you got to be careful who you lay down with, both females and males, man. You never know. You could be laid up with a whole psycho. I've personally never had anybody I've dated, any dude I dated, like destroy my property or fuck up my car or something like that. To my memory, I've never really had that. I can't. I've had a nigga sit outside my house in his car for like literally like a whole day, and every time I would come outside to try to link with somebody else, he would be sitting in his car, and that was bad. But I've never had that type of. This is crazy. That's a different level. That's a totally different level. 7. Have you ever fucked up somebody's car or damaged somebody's apartment like that or somebody's crib like that? 7. I could definitely see 7 doing that. I could for sure see. I could for sure see 7 going to town on somebody's crib like that. What else we got? What else we got in here? Hold on, y'all. My food is almost here, but we got a couple. I got a couple more topics we could get to. Don't worry about nothing. Oh, I took the music review screen down, so let me play you a bit of the conversation I have with Big Sad 1900. Big Sad pulled up. Big Sad called into the music stream last night to talk about his take on LA rap and music making it past Arizona, all that good stuff. Let's check it out. Things you said on one of the records was you got the city on your back. Do you feel that way, and can I get your take on LA rap as a whole right now?
Yeah, I feel like me and like a lot of other artists, like I like Wally, Blue Bucks, it's a lot of people. But you know, when I say I be speaking like, you know, I gotta get in my bag, and I be speaking that shit how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like every rapper should feel like that though.
Right, that's true. That's true. Who are some artists you want to work with this year?
Man, shit. Whoever really reach out with me, whoever reach out and tap in with me, I really don't be reaching out too much. I kind of just be focused on, you know, doing my own thing. But I'm definitely willing to work with like really out of town artists too. I want to expand my shit a little further, like you know, the Midwest, the South, things like that. I'll definitely be willing to work with like you know artists out that way.
Absolutely. So when we was playing the records, a few of the people in the chat was saying like, oh, this record can make it past Arizona, this song can make it past Arizona, and I was agreeing with him.
Man, that's crazy. I just be trying to, I'm like, I look at it like sports, like swinging my bat. That's why I put out a lot of music. Me being an independent artist, I feel like you can never go wrong with putting out a lot of music because I put out Midnight in Hawaii and that thing took off. I didn't expect that to happen. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I put out a lot of songs that I didn't know they was going to be as big as they was. So now I'm like, damn. What if I was to hold Midnight in Hawaii in the computer and never put it out? I would have never knew what it could have been. You feel me?
Yeah. Shout out to Big Sad 1900 for calling in to the stream last night. Go check out his new project Until Then too. Gave some good game. I'm going to clip up the rest of that interview and upload it. Not tomorrow because it's Super Bowl. But maybe Monday or Tuesday. I'll have that full Big Sad phone interview up so you can check that out. I'm about to send myself over the Tam winning an argument because I'm petty and I love when people win arguments. Hold on, people have arguments, rather debates. Hold on, don't worry about nothing. What are y'all doing for Super Bowl? I got invited to 2 Super Bowl parties tomorrow. I'm debating which one I should go to. One's at a chef's house, the chef that made that peach cobbler for me and Tam. The other one's at a homie house. Which one I'm going to go to, I don't know. What are y'all doing for Super Bowl Sunday, y'all? What's plots? Hold on. Don't worry about nothing. Somebody said I need to get more carpet and soft pad for walls. Will eat the echo for audio. Okay, I got you. Actually, Tam got us some. I just gotta put them up. Hold on. Don't worry about nothing. Here we go. So Tam posted this and tagged Adam22. It says, yes, Taylor Swift came from an affluent, upper middle class background, not a poor one with parents in the finance industry whose financial stability and support, including moving the family to Nashville, investing in her early career, were crucial to her success. Her father, Scott Swift, was a stockbroker and later a vice president at Merrill Lynch, and her mother, Andrea, worked in finance as well, providing significant resources as she started her music career. I love that she used the 22 song by Taylor Swift and then tagged Adam. So that debunks the whole narrative that Tam hates white people and that she was hating on Taylor Swift out of some racist format. That's not the case. She just was speaking the truth. So that's two narratives that we've debunked from Adam today. All right, y'all. I feel like I'm out of topics. My food still isn't here, but I'm going to fuck around with y'all. Y'all got any questions? I'll fuck with the chat now. I'll fuck with the chat. What we doing? What we talking about? My food still isn't here. It's running late. It was supposed to be here at 3:15, but fuck it. Tyler Good said, I'm about to binge eat during the Super Bowl steak, rib, shrimp, cocktail. Damn. What's the best Super Bowl food? I feel like nachos and wings, you can't go wrong with. Nachos and wings, man. I'm here at work until Monday. You work during Super Bowl is crazy, but I mean, make that money. Make that money. What can we talk about till my food get here? Can y'all guess what I ordered? I would never bring that person back to this show. No. Once you're fired, man. Once you get the boot, you get the boot. You're done. It's a wrap. And why would I bring back somebody that was sleeping on camera, late to multiple episodes, missed multiple episodes without any notice? Not like, oh, that morning, I'm not going to be here. Like, we here at 9 o'clock and that person's not here type shit. Never. What type of vape is that? Watermelon ice. It's a hookah. It's definitely a hookah. Chipotle. Nope. Chinese food, orange chicken. Nope. Nope. What else can we talk about? Give me a closing topic, man. Please fire Bo Jackman. Bo Jackman is retiring from covering LA rappers, but we have Jay Reddy pulling up on Monday, so we're going to see how Bo does in the interview with Jay Reddy throughout that stream. We're going to see how he do. I would have just sat here and reacted to the whole Ricky versus Bo Jackman thing, but I'm going to wait till Bo is here to put that on the screen and react to it, and I'm going to save that content. As far as Bo tripping over Tam and him splitting the super chats last night in the chat, I conceded. I said, okay, you guys can split the super chats, but me personally, I feel like the super chats aren't a lot of money. Like I said, it was like $87 last month in super chats. So if you just give Tam the whole 87, what's the big deal? Like, you want $43 that bad? Like, I don't know. Chili cheeseburgers is crazy. Y'all know I don't like burgers like that. Sloppy Joe's. How do you do that? I'm still listening to the J. Cole album. I have not got all the way through it, but I must say it's boring. I have to say, like, that shit is pretty fucking boring. It is a snooze fest. I'm not finished with it yet. Otherwise, I would have finished it if it was fire. Bo don't deserve those super chats. That's crazy. I like Bo. I like Bo when we aren't talking about music. I like Bo when we just joking around and interacting with the chat. Bo irritates me when we start talking about hip hop and he don't be knowing certain things about it. That's when it gets irritating. Bro, you should keep your super chats. Nobody gives their co-host super chat money. Again, what am I gonna do with the $87 we got last month? And two, no, I feel like I can't afford to pay my my co-hosts on the podcast. So if they want the super chat money, they can have it. Like I said, but I'm not contesting Bo getting the super chats. I was just giving them to Tam. But if he wants to split it, how I'm going to do it with the super chats, which is more work on my end, all the super chats that come in on Monday, I have to log it, I guess. Do it let you know exactly what date the super chat came in when you go to your dashboard? I don't know. All the super chats that come in on Monday are going to go to Bo. All the super chats that come in any other day could go to Tam. It could be like that, or whatever the totality is, they could split it. I don't know. I'll have a conversation with them about it. But yeah, Bo and Tam are going to be splitting the super chats, and I have no problem with that. I'm not stingy like that, especially over small money. We talking about chump change. Big Sad did send $100 yesterday. So that's what's up. That's our biggest super chat that we've got so far. Tam deserves it. Oh my, I gotta charge this laptop too. All right, y'all, I gotta charge this laptop. And if I unplug, both my USB ports are in usage are being used. Tam deserves all the mangoes. All right, y'all. So like I said, I'll be back Monday with Bo Jackman and Jay Reddy. We're going to be talking about Jay Reddy's new project, Fresh Prince of V8. That should be a lively stream. We're going to do some food content because Jay Reddy is a foodie like me. We're going to have a lot of fun. That's going to be lit. Tune in Monday. And then Bo Jackman will be crashing out on Ricky, and I'll be giving my input, stirring the pot, being messy as well. Monday night after the stream, I'm doing my music review stream. If you want to submit your song, rapperportcards.com or DM me on Instagram. We'll get you signed up. Yeah, I'm about to get out of here. We got any last minute super chats? I'm going to give another 2 minutes if you want to send a super chat or if you want to ask me something very important or funny in the chat. Otherwise, hit that like button, sub up, hit the bell. I'm trying to get us to 4,000 subscribers by my birthday. My birthday is late March. I want to do a birthday stream here, like the Christmas stream. I want to look a lot better. I want to do a big birthday stream. We might even do it out there in the kitchen, on that big table out there. So I want to do that next month in March. I want to do a subathon. I've been meaning to do a subathon for a minute. I've been meaning to do like a 12-hour stream where I sit on camera, have a bunch of rappers and different people pull up and just listen to music. It won't be here. It'll be like a studio. I want to do a subathon soon because I'm trying to get us to 4,000 subs. We're at 3,400 right now. We're past 4,000 subs. We really should be at 5. So hit that sub button if you aren't subscribed. Dope content 3 times a week. I'm out of here. Wait on my food, but I'm going to get out of here because I need to charge my laptop. Shout out to y'all. Palm trees in the chat or I'm gone. Leave a comment on this motherfucker too. And yeah, I'll see you guys Monday. I appreciate you guys. I love Saturday School. This is my favorite screen.